good time zone artifacts, and a happy birthday to all of those around the world. Day 2 of the rides to Lake Silberneherze. Pulling it up. I don't know if we are going to pull today. I realized we were already at like 70,000. That's pretty low. Pretty low, all things considered. More than you. Well, I'm very frugal, I suppose. Maybe too frugal. But, so I'm hesitant to pull right now. We'll see how I feel a little later. It's not like it's ending today or anything, so. We'll see. Whabam. More low-level friends wanting to be friends, I see. All right. Last time on the rides to Lake Silberneherze, and maybe it's rides plural because maybe the whole event takes place on multiple trains. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But last time, we had Leto arriving in Yerig. We learned that she's actually half Yerig. Yerigese, I'm not sure what their Diminin actually is. Half Yerig, half Ursine. On her father's side, she's Yerig, and I feel like her father's probably Arknights because they do look a lot alike. But she's there to fulfill her mother's wish of delivering some sort of box to the top of Mount Carlon, I believe. And also she wants to find her father. Meanwhile, Viscount Harold of Victoria and his personal guard are visiting Yerig, supposedly for tourism. Supposedly. Although there's something else apparently going on. I haven't said, though, what exactly that is. There's also Trilby Asher in town. Investigating something. There's a lot of somethings that no one's really explaining. But all of them are on a train heading towards Lake Silberneherze. We also catch up with Degenbrecher, who is training some Silver Ash soldiers. Something happens, and she's called away for an emergency, which then leads her to jumping onto the train to find Viscount Harold. Who she then proceeds to chase through the train. Presumably, it seemed like she was hunting him, but actually, she was just trying to tell him he needs to go say hi to his Burdenbeast? Because he has a pet Burdenbeast named Lily. And that's where we are. Temporary stop. Accidents happen all the time while traveling. Unexpected temporary stops are among the most common. We did get Leto. I haven't like upgraded her, but I guess we can put her on the field if we want. For that trust build, I suppose.
Field mission? Count me in.
If you build her, I'll put Rosa up. I can't build her. I don't have enough guard chips. The farming opened today, so I'll do that after stream. Too many guards. I run out of guard chips. Who would have thought? Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our terminus, Lake Silberneherze Station. Located in the center of a basin, clear and scenic Lake Silberneherze is one of the gems of Yerrig. Legend says that it is the first tear shed by Yerrigander. In winter, one can walk on the frozen surface and see into the depths of the lake. The newly built statue of Yerrigander stands on an island in the middle of the lake, watching over Yerrigander people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. Some kind of weird standoff. Which isn't actually a standoff. So it's all a misunderstanding? No secrets, no assassinations, no VIP on the train? Nothing? If there's any VIP that got me on this train, it was you. Viscount Harold Kragovan, the renowned Burdenbeast veterinarian, who has become a household name among the pastoralists. He's a veterinarian? Alright. I'm honored. I beg your pardon, Madam Degenbrecher. It was hard not to make certain inferences from the blood on your gloves. Blood. Should I explain? I guess I could tell you, if you really want to know. I do, please. Lily's birthing wasn't easy. Oh, wait. They called Degenbrecher to help with a Burdenbeast giving birth? Is that in her job description when she was hired by Silverash? It was premature. She bled a lot and I had my hands full. What? Premature she bled? That's no laughing matter. How is my girl? I performed first aid, but she needs a professional follow-up. Leon says he trusts you the most, Kragavan. It's up to you now. I'll be there in 2 shakes of a beast's tail. You look disappointed. Were you expecting something else? Fine enough by me. I could live up to those expectations. There's no need for that. So, what is the misunderstanding? Lake Silberneherze is a nice place, isn't it? Particularly on a sunny day, clear day like this, when even the air smells particularly fresh. Do the Victorians always talk about the weather when they're trying to change the subject? I must have heard this a few thousand times by now. Forgive me. We learned from a young age to use Victoria's awful weather as a conversation starter. Kindly refrain from besmirching the good name of Victoria, my lord. Hey. Why are you guys standing around chatting? Is our little misunderstanding all cleared up now? Of course, of course. Nothing would have happened if not for some alarmists among us. Whatever, as long as it's all cleared up now. Running up and down a train was fun, but I've had enough eating dust under the table. I went ahead and had a look. My tour guide gave me 2 maps. Lake Silberneherze is just down the street from here. Should we go now? Well, dreadfully sorry, Rosalind, but I'm afraid I won't be able to keep my promise. There's a lady who needs me at her side right now. Lily is a Burdenbeast, right? Not some Victorian noble code word? Perish the thought. Fine, go see your Lily. I can take care of myself here. Rosalind? What's that look on your face? You're such a kind and thoughtful girl. Come, let's exchange contact information. You kids like the social media, don't you? You must find me, should you ever need anything. I'm ever at your service. And I'll keep an eye out for your father, handsome Yerrig fellow, you said. Thanks for that, Dadushka. Alright, you guys get back to your chat. I'm gonna get going. Such a lovely young lady, so strong and cheerful even after losing her mother. A handsome Yerrig fellow. Oh, you heard. Rosalind came to Yerrig to find her long-lost father. It's a touching story. I hope her efforts bear fruit. Her father? Is that what she said? Well, now that our misunderstanding has been resolved, Madame Degenbrecker, I'm a huge fan of your work. Could I perhaps beg your order? No time. I'm leaving. Take care of Lily. Wait, Madame Degenbrecker? She's gone. The Black Knight does not seem to take much pride in glories past. Small wonder considering the manner in which she was exiled from Kazimierz. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were still here. I didn't want to inadvertently offend the Black Knight. Glad to know you're so self-aware. It was my mistake. I should have been more careful with my words. But do you really believe Madame Degenbrecker's reasoning? The Black Knight has ever been Silverash's loyal lieutenant from the moment she left Kazimierz and followed him to Yerig. She has been in the mountains lately, training a new unit of troops for Carlin trade. We also have reports of unusual goods moving in and out of Yerig, involving materials of a sensitive nature. Your point? All conjecture at this time, but you have your suspicions too, don't you? That's why you cut the young Rosalind's contact. Looks like your time in Victoria has instilled in you a pathological mistrust of others. What a shame. That is my profession, after all. I'll report today's events to the Duke, exactly as they happened. Wait. Allow me to remind you once more, my lord. You have a duty you are obligated to carry out. Do not fail her grace. This is not a sightseeing trip. Have you given Carlin's trade proposal more thought, Mr. Taylor? I understand Matterhorn has taken you to see our mines and factories. Are you satisfied with what you've seen from Yerig and Carlin trade? I have no complaints about your company, Mr. Silverash, but you're a businessman too. I'm sure you understand. I would have a few reasons to harbor any doubts if it was Carlin trade I was dealing with, but if I'm to deal with the government of Yerig, which we know little about, I do feel that more due diligence is in order when it comes to a project of this size. Of course. I saw Victorian soldiers on the streets a few days ago. There's no conflict brewing between Yerig and Victoria, is there? I assure you that no harm will come to you in Yerig. Take your time, Mr. Taylor. Yerig won't disappoint you. Excellent. I look forward to a fruitful partnership, Mr. Silverash. You will continue to serve as Mr. Taylor's guide tomorrow, Matterhorn. Attend any of his needs within reason. Yes, sir. But are we really going to work with him? You don't think he'd be a good partner? It's not my place to judge. However, he has found various excuses to put off signing the contract while here in Yerig, and went back on his word more than once, on profit sharing, I fear. Indeed, he is a shrewd merchant. Yerig has no choice but to work with shrewd merchants at present, while these same shrewd merchants have their pick of options. My job is to make Yerig their only choice. Yes, sir. Go ahead and check on Degenbrecker's recruits. Have them escort Mr. Taylor. Yes, sir. In Ciudis. Yes. Look at that. You're using a communicator. I thought you didn't like these long-range methods. I just don't like to be contacted. There's something you should know in CODs. I ran into a girl from Rhodes Island on the train to Lake Silberneherze. Did you enter a new partnership with them? Yerig, snow, cheese, Burdenbeast accessories, Saintess portraits. All Yerig specialties, get 'em right here. Burdenbeast blind boxes, limited edition, while supplies last. It's so lively here. What are they selling? Portraits of Saintess? That's not what Promenax looks like. No, girlie, the Saintess personally approved this portrait. It's the real deal. Alright, whatever you say. I'll have some snow cheese then. Is that the most popular treat? I might have had some when I was little. You're a local? Who could say that? Should have said so. Don't buy the snow cheese. Huh? That's for tourists. We don't buy that stuff. This shaved cheese is much cheaper and tastes pretty much the same. Wait, are you just ripping off tourists then? Hey, don't put it like that. Look at the packaging on this snow cheese. See how nice it is? That's what the tourists want. Something nice and classy looking. All I'm doing is making a few francs off the packaging. It's not like I'm selling interior stuff. The cheese itself is first rate. I guess you have a point. I'll have the shaved cheese then. Can I ask you something else too? I wonder what like shaved cheese, like is it just grated cheese? Is that what that is? Snow cheese? Like what is it exactly? Is there a man in Yerig that everyone agrees is the handsomest? The handsomest man, huh? Well, I'm a pale Roche, but I'm not gonna lie. Sir in CODs has got to be the handsomest fellow in Yerig. And CODs, wait, Silver Ash? Yeah, the patriarch of Clan Silver Ash. No way, it can't be. How about another guy, anybody else? Never mind, just a random thought, forget I asked. How about something else? That mountain by the shore of Lake Silberneherze, does it have a name or something? Oh, that's Mount Fugen. It's famous for its romantic atmosphere. Lots of young couples go there. Young couples? They say any couple that watches the sunrise there will stay together forever. It's, what's the old saying again? Yerig's love is like the unmelting ice. Humbug, if you ask me. Lots of tourists go there, they hang the golden lock of love or something. Oh, now that I think about it, Sir Arknights likes to go there to hunt, and he's none too happy about all the tourists who get in his way. Alright, here's the money for the cheese. Thank you, come again. Also, I'm just so confused by Yerig culture. Like, they're like Tibet, but they speak German language, but their currency is a franc, which is the old French currency. I'm very confused. They're a strange hodgepodge of motifs. They're still trying to find their identity. I'm not sure that's how that works, but maybe. I mean, I guess the currency could have been from Gaul. They just used the Gaul currency. Like, sure, that's okay. That makes sense. The language, though, is kind of weird. Yeah, very confusing. So, this is like Silberneherze that Momochka always talked about. And that's Mount Fugen. Not a bad view, but Ursus has icy lakes just like it. Oh, the ice goes pretty deep. Is that the statue of Yeragander? I can't see their face. Wow, it's big alright. Wonder how much stone they used to build it. Stone? Our Yeragander statue wouldn't settle for stone. Huh? No, not who I expected, actually. Gotta hand it to you, you got good taste. This is the best spot to admire Yeragander's statue. And who might you be? I'm... that's not important. What's important is what you just said. Yeragander's statue isn't made from any old stone. We use the finest materials to express our love for her. The finest, huh? Like what? Like I said, the finest... Ow. What? Did you bite your tongue? It's a secret, of course. Can't just go around blabbering to tourists. Is it just... What is it made of? It could be stone. It could be metal, I guess. It could be clay. There's not many options. I guess it could be paper mache. I can't tell you the details, but anyway, just know that it's really amazing. You almost let it slip. Just almost. Fine, you didn't say anything. Well, enjoy the view. I gotta get going. Magic. Obviously. They used, guess they use like gargoyle magic since they use... But that's just stone still, really. Oh, hey, wait up! What is it this time? You... Hey, you're a tourist, right? Yeragander's statue's getting officially unveiled right here the day after tomorrow, in the morning. If you're still in Yereg, you won't want to miss it. Now you're just talking to yourself. Who knows what's gonna happen in 2 days? Make no difference looking at it today. Of course it makes a difference. The Saintess is officiating the ceremony herself. You might even get to see Yeragander in spirit. Say, what's your name? Rosalind. Full name? Is the Y an I or an E sound? I'm not sure. Ti Nevi Nosima. In nursing. Rosalind Tatyanovna Rarina. Alright, Rosalind, I'll make it official. I, Sirius Browntail, formally invite Rosalind Tatyanovna Rarina to attend the unveiling ceremony of Yeragander's statue that takes place in 2 days' time. Then you'll know that this Yaragander is special. There's no other like her. You sure are confident. Well, I guess I look forward to it. One of the brown tails playable? Only Yucatan fights, so... And Sirius is pregnant, so I don't think she's gonna be playable anytime soon. They've got a kid to take care of in the future, so Yucatan wouldn't fight either. Wait, I haven't given you an invitation, the invitation letter yet. Why are you in such a hurry anyway? Sirius. Younger sister of the Brown Tail Matriarch. Frequently visits other countries on behalf of Yerig in recent years. Did she arrange for Rosalind to be here? I should find a way to eavesdrop. Sir, you've been standing in front of my stall holding that newspaper of yours for 5 minutes. I need you to buy something or move out of the way. Pardon me. One Burdenbeast milk tea a lot. Olé. Olé? Yeah, olé, please. Alright, I guess that takes care of that bitch Rattatus' job. Makes no sense. Why do I have to keep an eye on some kid? Even talk to her, no less. Gotta say, though, the girl looks slightly familiar. Russ? Are you sure you don't need my help? Yucatan? Leave it to me, I got this. Let's go, I want Rattatus to tell me what the deal is with this Rosalind girl. I forgot they talked about that last time.
Notes fall into memory, and a melody resonates in the mind.
What we got?
A new challenge.
Oh, maybe I should cut the sniper. Just for, shooting things, but this works.
Good timing.
Any instructions? Ah, losing sight.
We'll do the Arknights break the silence first.
What? Excuse me? There's a robot? Alright. Didn't see that coming.
A solo to you.
Feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it?
私の思考を遮って
Feels fresh every time. Ah, losing sight.
We'll do the powers break the silence first.
Any instructions? Tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Easy peasy so far. Gnosis and Arteria, pretty good team. Come, Rosalind, let's learn how to play or how to pray to Yeragander. Close your eyes, put your hands before your chest, and call out Yeragander's name silently in your heart. Good job, Rosalind. You're Mama and Papa's sweetheart, Rosalind. Mama could never regret giving birth to you, no matter what people might say. May Yeragander bless. Why are people saying that? Yeragander looks even bigger up close. So that's what she looks like. Pray to Yeragander. What did Mamochka teach me again? No, I can't remember. I mean, it all happened before I was 3. I guess I should start praying. Close my eyes. What do I do with my hands again? Stretch your right palm out flat and place it before your chest. Elder Devotee.
In Yeragander's presence, you close your eyes, or we close our eyes that do not truly see, and bow over our overly proud heads, drive stray thoughts from our minds, and recite Yeragander's name in our hearts. Come, child, after me.
Okay. Leto closes her eyes again. Her vision goes dark, but her senses seem to vastly expand in an instant. Behind her, the old devotee begins to praise Yeragander's name in his raspy voice. Yeragander, grant us springs that quench our thirst and fruit that sates our hunger. Yeragander, grant us ice and snow that freeze catastrophe. Kind and gentle Yeragander, watch over us and Yereg. The sensation of wind brushing past her cheeks seems to grow with the chanting and the snowy wind roaring in her ear. A sense of familiarity rising from a place that Leto does not know takes her down memory lane. Yeragander, I'm not your follower. I don't need your blessing. But if you really do protect your believers, please protect Mamochka. I wouldn't have come if she didn't ask me to. No, that's not good enough.
But...
Yeragander! Yeragander! Please protect my mother. She's a devout follower of yours. She told me how great Yereg is. I'll see how great it is for myself. Well, what's that about? Is that what Yereg prayers are like? Ew. Okay, that's good.
What are you doing, girl?
Praying, of course. I mean, it's better to pray aloud, isn't it? To make sure Yeragander can hear me. Don't want to leave behind any regrets, you know? Oh, and thanks for teaching me.
Well, I suppose Yeragander's hardly one to be picky about petty details. No need to thank me.
Yeragander sounds like a pretty nice lady. Just like you, Batushka. Leto removes her hand from her chest and takes one look at the imposing Yeragander statue before turning around to descend the steps. The old devotee sees her face clearly for the first time. The visage before his eyes under the sunlight, the curves of her cheeks, the height of her nose, the shape of her lips. A sense of familiarity washes over the old man.
It's you. You're...
What?
No, it's nothing. I've seen plenty of tourists in my time. No one's done what you did.
Really? Did I do something weird?
What's your name?
Rosalind, it's Rosalind.
Rosalind. How old are you, Rosalind?
Me? Almost 20. Huh? How? How is she almost 20? That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Was she not a student at Peterheim? Was she what? Was she just at the school? They're not that young. But Children of Ursa's event was only a few years ago, and that school is a middle school. They were middle schoolers, or at least all of them. But Leto, was she not? Maybe she wasn't actually. Okay, if I remember correctly, the people the students trapped in Peterheim weren't all from the school. I think they collected a bunch of kids and just put them in that school specifically. So maybe she was from a different school. She's almost 20, so technically she's 19. Which would have made her... It was only like 3 years ago or something. Which would have made her a teenager at 16. Which... I guess... Unless they're changing it. Unless they're retconning it and making it a high school. Like, she could have been a high schooler brought over, but I'm pretty sure originally the idea was that was a middle school. But maybe they're retconning it? I don't know. I know back in the day there was some confusion because of translation ambiguity. Maybe that's still the thing? I don't know. Whatever, I guess she's 19 now. That's fine. Maybe more time passing. Well, they gave us the date. It's 1100. And them being trapped in school is during Chernobog, which is only a few, like 3 years ago. So she would have been 16 at the time. Which still makes her, like, not far off, but still older than I expected. It's not, like, super far off, I guess, all things considered, but it's still older than I expected. By, I guess, only by a few years, technically, but... I guess also, who knows how Ursa's schooling works exactly, right? I guess their, like, school age range... and what they consider that, I'm not sure, you know, who knows, but... I guess we can confirm real quick. On. Yeah, Peterheim Middle School, but maybe she wasn't from there. But it is Peterheim Middle School. $10 to $15 in Russia for middle school. I guess that would put her 1 year over, which maybe she was held back. You know, maybe she's just a little slightly older. Who knows? Maybe our archive says if she's actually from Peterheim or not. We'll have to look at that later. But at least it now makes sense that she's like, when I was a kid. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, you're 20 now. Whatever. That makes more sense.
Are you from Yereg?
You can tell.
You look like, yes, you really do.
You called it. I was born here. But I spent my whole life in Ursus. This is my first time back. I guess only half of me is Yereg.
You grew up in Ursus. Ursus. Ursus, yeah, that's good too, yes. Why have you come to Yereg then?
Alright. Stick to what you're doing. No, actually, that's enough. Too much is suspicious. The girl? It's a long story. I'll tell you over dinner or something. Talk to you later. Alright, satisfied? For now. Oh hey, it's Gnosis. Didn't expect him to just show up like this, okay. Casually show up. What does Gnosis even sound like? I don't even know. Are you sure the Trilby Asher didn't find anything else? No need to be paranoid, Gnosis. The Duke would not stay put if things had gotten to the point that you fear they have. Don't forget the troops stationed in the foothills. Karagavan is no pushover. A Trilby Asher showing up on the train indicates that they've sensed something. I have had dealings with the Trilby Ashers. On the surface, they are the groveling servants of the nobles, armed with nothing but silvery tongues. but we can't ignore the fact that they grew up in the embers of an empire at war. Karma catching up to the two of you, maybe? If we're talking about karma, then you won't get far yourself. Of course I won't. But wouldn't we suffer payback for delivering a young girl to a Victorian spy? She will distract the Silberneherze. That's why we need the Victorians to believe that she's important. Don't forget that there will be many eyes on this place, with Jörgunder's statue complete and this ceremony about to begin. We must all be careful. I don't need you to remind me. Relax, I'll be careful. It's not a game we're playing here after all. The Brown Tails couldn't pull out if we wanted to. Or rather, if I showed even the slightest hint that I wanted out today, I'm pretty sure I would suffer an unfortunate accident tomorrow. I see no reason to engage in speculation about the impossible. This is for Yerig. We can only go forward, not back. But we can't hide this forever, Gnosis. It's too big, with too many people involved. Even if the Silberneherze didn't run into the girl today, he might have run into a certain boy another day. He will find out sooner or later. And Ciudis better have a plan, or even the full authority of the Saintess and all of Yerig won't save his hide. And if Victoria finds Carlin Trey to be more important, then we truly have no card to play. It's good for all of us that the Saintess and Ciudis have taken up different positions. I guess I better cancel my family dinner tomorrow. Since when are you a family woman? Isn't that what Yerig has always been about? Family, bloodlines, old-fashioned, I guess, but the Saintess and Ciudis are siblings, aren't they?
I see. Your mother gave birth to you and Yerig, but she brought you to Ursus while you were still small. You came back all this way, praying before the statue of Jörgunder, and preparing to climb the mountain to fulfill your mother's last wish. I see.
That's our voice. Well, that's the story, basically. That still wasn't her voice.
Good girl. Smart, brave, and handsome too.
Oh shucks, and now you're just flattering me.
I'm not. You're a blessing from Jörgunder to your family.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I guess you could say Mamunchka was blessed. But there's nothing to do with my papa, who might as well have never existed.
Well, your father,
You don't know who he might be, do you? It's strange. Mamochka said I look a lot like my papa, but he's supposed to be the handsomest man in Yerig. I thought finding him would be a piece of cake. Could it be... maybe my dad was pretty ordinary and the beauty was all in the eye of the beholder?
Of course not. That's not the case at all.
Oh, whoa. Why are you so excited all of a sudden? But I figured that's the most reasonable explanation.
It's hard to explain.
Well, I'm in no hurry. We can talk about it later. Are you familiar with these parts?
I can't say I know everything, but I do know a thing or two.
So you're familiar then? Do you know what the best route up that mountain? I hear it's a makeout point or something. Do I need to buy a ticket or...
No need for tickets. Other than Carlin, the seat of the Saintess, and all the mountains and rivers of Yerig belong to the children of Jörgunder. Who would have asked such a question in the Yerig of past? This was a much quieter place back then. No sightseeing spots, no attractions, few tourists. Faith was strong in the people who respected the mountains, rivers, and lakes. It has become like this because Clan Silverash wanted to open up to the outside, and the Saintess chose not to intervene.
What's so bad about opening up?
Well, that's not for an old man like me to judge. Are you climbing the mountain today?
It's getting a little late. I'm thinking about spending the night somewhere and climbing up first thing in the morning. Any good hotels around here?
A few spare rooms, if it's a roof over your head you're looking for. That is, if you're willing to stay in my humble abode.
Of course, let's go. Thank you so much. Mamushka always said the people of Yereg are warm and kind.
Now listen, girl. Don't be so quick to accept an offer like that. You need to be careful. What would you do if I had ulterior motives?
Why are you angry when you're the one offered? Don't worry. I went through a lot in Ursus. I'm no pushover. That's fair.
Don't be a fool. How would you protect yourself if your assailant was stronger than you?
I am not a fool. Alright, I know you're worried about me. Actually, I'm not sure why, but I just felt, well...
What?
I can't put it into words. I just had a feeling. I don't think you'd hurt me.
So, did you find the mark? No, I scanned the island with binoculars, but didn't see anything.
We're dealing with a master disguise. He won't slip up so easily.
Then why tell me to look?
Just in case. Our mission is to follow the girl, make sure no harm comes to her, and avoid detection. Oh no, they're gonna actually make me pronounce that word? I was really hoping I never would have to. Because I have no idea where to start. Let's see if it's on my go-to site. Which isn't working right now. Question mark? Oh no, there it is. No one submitted a recording of that. Dang. There are some pages that come up. I guess this is a mythological creature in Switzerland. You know, they're speaking. Maybe Yereg is supposed to be Switzerland instead of Tibet, because they speak German. And in fact, the one word we looked up yesterday was Swiss German. This thing is apparently from Swiss mythology, so maybe it's not actually Tibet at all. I mean, it kind of is. Government-wise, it kind of is. But everything else is pointing towards Switzerland. As for how it's pronounced... well, according to Arknights wiki, actually, that does not help me at all. Shigegate, I guess. That's probably the best we're gonna get. I guess we'll go with that. The Shigegate still have a lot to learn about counter-reconnaissance, but if the girl has encountered the former head of Clan Palerosh, and the Shigegate are here too, What's that? What's that? I'll take a look. Imitates Burdenbeast cry. Oh my gosh. Is this guy Obi-Wan Kenobi? Just a wild Burdenbeast. You never know when a trick might come in handy. My back. Did he have a costume as well? Is that what that was? I like us seeing the actual, like, spying of Chilby Ashers, because so far they've just kind of been mysterious. They show up and are mysterious. This guy's actually being a spy. Look, Inya. Look more carefully. That's this statue. It's not right, is it? Doesn't look like Yaragander at all. Is that so? I thought it was alright. It's not alright. The face needs to be a little thinner, and the body... That'll do, Yar. It's up to the people of Yareg. The Yaragander standing here is the one that they want to worship. You know there's not much that can change on that front. No more sighs. Did you hear the girl, Yara? The one with the loud voice. Of course I did. Interesting one, kind of makes sense, you know. Not even Yaragander can read minds if you don't pray out loud. Yeah. People's minds are such complicated things. Who can tell what you're thinking if you don't put it into words? All right. So, will you heed the plea of your humble handmaiden, Saintus? This statue? Nope. Inya. Not even if you beg. I like sassy Premonix.
I see you
Her little
managed
cat
to
mouth
complete
that she
the
makes.
mission without causing any unnecessary pain to the quarry.
:3.
Not bad. Icke dåligt. Sip a hot drink and get some rest.
Alright. I'll be right back. Alright. I wonder if the Yereg wiki actually has changed their mind on what cultures it's based upon. Oh yeah, it does say, well, it still says the Himalayas, but it does mention Scandinavia, the Alps. It does say that the language, yeah, is based on Norwegian and Swiss German. So it has, yeah, it does talk about more about that stuff. But the religion stuff is still very Tibetan. Local cuisines based on Switzerland, such as fondue. That's true, yeah, they do talk about fondue. Yeah, so it's kind of a mix of those two places. Although it seems a little more heavy on the Swiss IMO. Back on track. No one wants the worst outcome. How wonderful it would be if all is well again. Oh, you know, we haven't been keeping track of the new enemies. Assault recruit, new recruits on a special mission, firing warning shots with non-lethal weapons to avoid unnecessary loss of life. Having never seen war with their own eyes, they carry out their mission with expectations of peace. Wow. Having never seen war? The war just ended in Victoria. Even if they're new recruits, like, they should have seen something. Centurions are normally tasked with assaulting a fortified position, and the delegation, their main task is to defeat the defenders of the heater. Clockwork Patroller, a patrol machine developed for the local environment, moves faster when it is wound up a few times before battle, low firepower. These guys again.
Full house.
Straight flush.
You little shack of shite. You've been hiding cards, haven't you?
What do I need to hide cards to beat you? Just sit yourself down like a good boy.
Royal flesh.
Yeah, damn it. How'd you pull that one off?
Your sleeve, Jack.
Yeah, how'd you catch that?
Jack, you cheating bastard.
Hey, if you didn't catch me, that's your problem.
You want a problem? I'll shove your goddamn head so far up your arse that...
Just shuffle already. Oh, alright, shuffling.
I'm sure you've got some rotten luck getting stuck with you, sorry lot, for this shift.
Doesn't matter who you're on shift with, you're playing cards anyway. And there's only a handful of fellas here who won't try and cheat you. Go on, have a count.
Huh. At least there hasn't been much to do today.
You can say that again. Back when the old man said he'd take us sightseeing, I didn't believe him for a second. Now that it's been a month, I'd say I believe him.
It's been good eating and good drinking.
It's so weird. The seasoned soldier and the silent soldier are in the exact same spot. So when they switch pictures, it's just the hairstyle like switching. It looks really weird.
Certainly has. Feels like my appetite's gonna my appetite's gone back to when I just enlisted.
Ah.
What the hell are you screaming up for, Charles? Scared the crap out of me.
Bloody hell, I had another nightmare. I dreamt that I got chopped in half by a sarcasm sword and all. You... Oh, God, I thought it'd be something worse. Day before yesterday, I dreamt that I got blown up by some oranginium explosives while I was out scouting. Oh, right now I'd like to shove some explosives into your gob. Well, hurry up already then. A guy nuttier than a freaking vampire out in the battlefield is gonna have a few screws loose when went off to the war front. Well, what can I do? I can't control if I have nightmares or not. Just think positive. Last time you said you were being minced. This time you said you're being chopped in two. Maybe it's a good omen or something. Damn it, you're right. Alright, enough moping. Grab a drink and come play some cards. Perfect timing, really. Now that you're up, come take over my spot for a few rounds. Why? Is something the matter? Not really. There's a few farmers at the bottom of the mountain that need a hand with their work. So I'm gonna help out. Farmers? That family that gave us milk all the time. The Turiels. Oh, I remember them. Oh, I remember them. Their daughter's quite pretty. I see how it is, Lisburn. I'm just helping out. Don't read too much into it. What the hell are you lot doing? Everyone within 100 meters could hear you yapping away. You sure have some skills turning the barracks into your gambling parlor. Didn't you say we were gonna go sightseeing from the start, though? We're just following orders here. I told you you can go help out the locals a bit for some goodwill. Let them think we're more than just a bunch of yobs. Have you been yet? Lisburn's gonna go help out. He's keeping mum. But I can tell that he's thinking of settling down here. Oh? Don't listen to this nutter, boss. I really am just going to help out. After all, we came here to... Alright, that's enough out of you. Just get going already. Who died and made you chief worry what, huh? If a young lad like yourself really does want to become a family man, I'd say you're still a good egg. Yes, sir. You sure got a stink about you, boss. Still working on your veterinary medicine out there? Save it. Lily, the Leoness girls, gave birth prematurely. I didn't get there in time. All I could do was help with some postpartum care. And then I ran into this one very unlucky chap. Unlucky? Another Victorian. A Victorian? The whole month we've been here, I bet I've seen, if not 1,000 Victorian tourists, 800 at least. Alright, I get it. You loved taking a stroll down the street. Deal those cards out already. I'll deal. Charles had a nightmare again, boss. Did he? Let me see. Well, it's fine. No use troubling yourself over it. If you lot die, then who's going to fight for me? We're going to fight? Shut your mouth for a second and hold still, alright? Yeah. Well, at least it hasn't gotten worse. Does it still hurt as much as last time? It's been a lot better since we came to Yerrig. Well, I spent a lot of money greasing palms just to get this opportunity. If you lot aren't feeling any healthier, doesn't it seem like I wasted all that dosh for nothing? Besides, it's not like there's anything else to do here except get better. Huh, you're right about that, sir. Are they on sabbatical? Like, are they all just here to... because they're, like, sick? Is that... This arm's been no good for a while, but you've already helped me a lot. If I ever lose both my arms, well, at least I can carry a weapon into battle with my teeth.
What use is a soldier with no arms? There's no need to show off. You lads just need to remember what you're here to.
Allow me to remind you once more, my lord. You have a duty you are obligated to carry out. Do not fail her grace. This is not a sightseeing trip. Hey boss, you're finally gone senile?
I'm not the same as you simpletons who care nothing for your health. When you've gone senile, I'm still going to be fit as a fiddle.
Hey, we might not get to live that long.
Forget it. For the sake of my retirement, this old fogey's willing to go all in.
What are you talking about? I don't think a hoity-toity lord like you throwing your money around is going to fit in well with the locals, honestly.
But nobody's gonna turn down a sumptuous banquet. You go on and play your cards.
Sure, you're not just looking for an excuse to drop a crappy hand? Let me see. 4 jacks, not great, not terrible.
Huh. Now that's the spot. NCOD sent it over especially. Said it would be given out at a bonfire banquet the night before the ceremony. That, what was it called again?
Forgot about Gulo as well. There's a lot of good character designs in Yerrig, actually.
Corlin Manor, Snow Realm Spring, sir. We've been talking about it on television every day. Enough times that I've memorized it. Bah, it's all just crap-trap for the masses. I will say that this drink is exquisite, very robust. I dare say it's the one good thing Encealdis has done. However, it hardly holds a candle to your very own aged pale roche, Akavit. Should we keep drinking this stuff, sir? Counting what we've got from the brown tails. There's still 3 other drinks to try. Of course, we'll keep drinking it. If we don't try it for ourselves, then how will we know which is the best? Since the Saintess has bestowed the privilege of organizing the banquet on Clan Pale Roche, this is of course one of my duties. Drink is our top priority. I must pick Yerrig's best spirits for the banquet. I cannot let the Saintess down. Alright, go. Get the rest of the booze up here for a taste test. Yes, sir. Guards with me. Let's carry up those drinks.
General, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Although the Patriarch did say that this is all the preparation for the ceremony just now, isn't this way too much booze? The boys are totally worn out.
You're thinking too much. Completing Yerrigander's statue is more important than any amount of booze. Ask the men to bear with it for a little longer. When everything's settled, I'll treat you all to a fine meal.
Alright then. The Pale Roaches could stand to be a bit more attentive. I didn't think infiltrating them would be this easy. Their former patriarchs already brought Rosalind over. Next, I need to check with what exactly Clan Paroach has up its sleeves. Moreover, all this booze, based off of Arktos' attitude, is it really all for the banquet? Yet another trail to follow.
What's with all the lollygagging? Come over here and help out already.
Yes, sir. But if the Pale Roaches truly are keeping some terrible secret, Rosalind must surely be involved as well. Finding her has become a priority. This man's a master of disguise.
We've arrived.
Is this your house? The rooms are pretty big. Are you one of those low-key rich guys? You don't look it.
Hardly. This is merely some family property. Look here, young lady. This house is built right into the mountain. When you begin your climb tomorrow, you can use the shortcut behind it.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Babushka.
I should apologize to you first.
But why?
I invited you here out of my own selfish desire. By Yeragander, I should not have hidden it from you.
Why are you all so serious all of a sudden? I can handle it, just lay it on me.
Oh, child, there is someone I'd like you to meet. A master.
There's a real big guy yelling for you over there, Badushka. He your son?
Certainly no son of mine. Give me a moment, young lady. What are you doing back, sir? Am I not allowed back? That's not what I meant. It's not a great time for you to be here. Great time or not, you're in no place to speak of such things. How is Arktos? Hey, Sir Arktos, he, Out with it already, speak clearly. Yes, sir. Sir Arktos is currently making preparations for the bonfire banquet. Don't just give me the good news, what else? He's personally checking all the drinks for tomorrow. Right now he's sampling those from some other regions. Rotten boy. He said he'd give up drinking last month, and now this? Ridiculous. If he keeps flip-flopping, how's anyone supposed to trust a word out of his mouth? The little patriarch is doing all this for the sake of politics. He's fully dedicated to the scientist. Ugh. Sounds like excuses to me. Oh, by the way, who's the girl? How rude, Gulo. The young lady is Rosalind, my guest. Welcome, Madam Rosalind. Master, who is Madam Rosalind really? It might just be me, but she looks a bit like Sir Ark. Shush! I'm not certain of anything yet. Don't ask too many questions just now. Gulo, bring the young girl inside first. And then, wherever that oaf Arktos is, take her to him. And don't forget to tell your minions to prepare a room and meal for her. Treat her well, or else. Yes, sir. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No biggie. You guys finished chatting. What was it you were going to tell me before that big guy came over? Someone you wanted me to meet, right?
The man I wish for you to meet is inside the house. Follow this one inside first. Your meeting with this man will make everything clear.
Alright. What about you, Batushka? Not coming with?
We'll meet again soon, child. Very soon. Please come with me, Madam Rosalind.
Alright. Hey, Bratan. Your name is Gulo, right? Bratan. What is Bratan? Brother? Maybe? I don't know. Apparently it actually translates as bro. At least according to Google. What were you chatting about with the old man? Something you can't tell me. Come on, Bratan, say something. Making an X with his fingers. You really can't say. Another X followed by a constant barrage of X's. Fine. I'll stop bothering you about it. Anyway, as soon as I meet this guy, I'll know, right? I'm also real curious as to why you two keep staring at my face. What is it? Because I look like someone, or does someone look like me? Nah, can't be. The way the old man talks about the guy he wants me to meet, it's like...
Oh, that's not it. Well, no.
Alright, calm down. A guy like you couldn't lie your way out of a fin bowl. Well, I'm not lying. You guys were stealing some strange glances earlier. If you're up to some funny business, I'm going to come down with my fists. Weren't you going inside? Come on already.
Oh, Madam Rosalind. Sir Arknights, the master has brought us a guest. Sir? Oh, ha, ha, ha. This is a fine drink. Incredibly fine. Come, finish this glass with me. Ha ha.
So this is the guy the old man wanted me to meet? A bearded drunk?
What's this girl blabbering about? I am Arknights, patriarch of the Pale Rush clan. How could I possibly get drunk on a sip of wine?
Ha. All drunks say stuff like that. And here I thought, nah, couldn't be. My papa would definitely be way cooler.
Your father's guest, so I won't argue with you. Still, come a bit closer, girl. Let me have a proper look.
What the hell are you trying to pull?
I feel your face is sort of familiar. You're...
Cough, cough, cough. The old man steps inside, disturbing a thick layer of dust. The door barely hangs on its hinges, and the door creaks with every step. Under his orders, the room has not welcomed a single guest in a very, very long time. With no residents and no custodians, this forgotten room has fallen apart with age.
Where did I put it? Think it was... Ah, good, it's here it is.
The old man fiddles with a latch of a cabinet in the corner, removing something from within. It's a plain, unadorned rock, every edge painstakingly polished smooth until it was perfectly round. Upon the rock is carved a blessing of Yeragander. The old man grasps the rock in his palm of his hand.
Thank goodness. I kept it, even as I never expected this day to come. Rosalind has grown up well, Tatiana.
The old man remembers. That day was also a winter's day. It was through this very window that he had watched that sad, silent parting. He had seen that young, foreign, thoughtless woman, with her anger and disappointment that could light snow aflame leave. He had seen that young, confused child carried in her mother's arms, unable to understand the reason behind her mother's furious face. He had watched them for what felt like centuries. Watched them until their backs faded into the bitter white winds.
So many years, and with so much time passed. I planned to give this to Rosalind, but never expected. Arknights did not want to see you two bear the blame, so I locked this room and told him that he must not speak in your stead. And then It was I, for the sake of the Pale Roche clan, who exiled yous and yours. If there is anyone to blame, Tatiana, then blame me.
He exiled them. Interesting.
Now the Pale Roche clan is in Arknights' hands. Yarrick, too, is not as she once was. I pledged to live the rest of my days as a simple devotee, so that as long as I lived, I would keep the road ahead clear for Yarrigander. If only it had been like this. I must be truly old now. Daydreaming like that. Bye, Yarrigander. Bye, Yarrigander.
I wonder why he exiled them. That's interesting.
Stay close. Don't run off.
I'm in tip-top. Enemy spotted. It'll be nice if they entered single file like the Knights do, though. Can your eyes keep up? Feels fresh every time when someone losing sight.
They always move. It's always on the right side, so like I have to put something here, which is not a great spot for any of my characters. Certainly not to attack someone. Also, he keeps getting stabbed or frozen.
Easy peasy.
Good timing.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Stay calm.
I guess that kind of works.
I can go anytime.
Delegation caster attacks in frigid areas deal splash damage and a cross. Excuse me? Catapult throws a massive snowball dealing damage on a cross. Can only use once. Is our massive snowball standard issue Victorian tactics? Or is this just a their thing?
Stay calm. Feels fresh tail like a shooting star.
Ow, they throw that very far. Didn't realize how far they throw that.
Support incoming.
Oh, and they're still pretty tough even with in melee as well.
Any instruct feels that to leave your target, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh.
An improv trauma? Losing sight?
I do like getting like actual Victorian soldier units though. I like their outfits.
Come on, let's pick up the pace.
Mission accomplished.
Wowzers. Weiss. Yes, sir, it's me. I don't know who Weiss is. Come in. Oh yeah, that guy's Weiss. His name's Weiss. Courier's name is Weiss. What is it? Well, Viscount Harold that tasked me with delivering this letter to you. The Viscount. It seems like he really was quite aware of you shadowing him to his barracks on my orders. Well, the blame is on mine for getting found out. Will this affect anything, sir? It will not. You may continue. How did he find you? Yes, sir. That afternoon. Yeah, it's currently 5 in the afternoon now, according to today's situation. Things today are not much different from past recordings. The infected barrack soldiers regularly perform drills in the mountains nearby. Well, I say drills, but it's mostly them trying to stave off boredom until the infected soldier, or until the there's no until there. The uninfected soldiers, on the other hand, have more freedom of movement. Thanks to this, they get up to all sorts of things. It's a bit of a pain to scratch that. Based on previous investigations, most of them simply drink and get rowdy at the taverns at the foot of the mountain. There are still 4 people keeping watch at the camp. 3 are playing cards while 1 is sleeping. After the one who was sleeping woke up, one of the other 3 left. He seems to be quite happy as he was walking away. If it's to visit the tutorials, I'd say he's taking a fancy to their daughter. These Victorians have been here for nearly a month. Even though I volunteered myself to scout out this for the first place, the more I watch them, the more I wonder if there's even really a point in monitoring them. They really do look like they're just here for sightseeing. Alright. It looked like Viscount Harold has returned to camp and started playing cards with the soldiers, but he's now nowhere to be seen. You know, a kind-hearted old man like me would call it a pity that you're out here alone in the mountain, Mr. Weiss. Which is why I brought along a drink for you. No need to worry, old chap. Watching us every day must be a right chore. I get it though. After all, there's a bunch of foreign troops stationed here. I'd be worried too, and so your sir and CODs can't help but have a little disdain for us Victorians. Go on, take a sip. He'll warm you up. Yes, sorry, I'm not great with alcohol. Is that so? What a pity. I didn't have much taste for booze either. When I was younger, felt like I could do just about anything sober. But now I finally understand why a drink enchants people so. Please tell me, Lord Viscount, what exactly will you do now that you found me? I was simply hoping you could assist me in a small matter, Mr. Weiss. Be a sport and pass this letter along to CODs if you would. Alright, I'll do that. Not going to ask why. You already found me out. I couldn't quite hide myself from your keen eyes, and pointing out to me so bluntly speaks volumes about your attitude on the matter. I'll inform my master about that alongside his letter. Forgive me, sir. If only I had trained my scouting a bit more.
There is naught to forgive. No matter what they say, in the end, they are still Victorian soldiers. There is an objective gap between our capabilities and theirs. It is enough that you perform your work at your own pace.
Understood.
Moreover, it is as you said. What he wished to use you to convey this to me is telling about his attitude. You have observed their barracks for nearly a month now. Tell me, what do you think of them, Weiss?
Yes, sir. Before the Victorian army even set foot inside Turicum, I had already prepared extensively just in case, but we never actually used any of our contingencies. They rushed in as if tomorrow they would occupy all of Yerig, but as we braced for impact, we ended up in this situation. They mostly stay at the foot of the mountain with minimal activity. And the Viscount, he deliberately set up camp far away from major towns or cities so as to minimize disturbances to the locals. Their barracks are split up into camps for the infected and uninfected. They even put up a notice to inform visitors. According to some intelligence I dug up, he even ordered his men to help the locals for their daily tasks. How should I put this? He truly respects his men, and he also respects us Yerigs. And so I think he's worthy of our respect too. Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked Matterhorn to pass them medicine and supplies.
Weiss stops speaking, his report complete, but Enceodes does not respond. The rhythmic sound of Enceodes' index finger slowly tapping at the armrest of his chair literally echoes throughout the room, like water slowly but firmly dripping from the eaves. This letter, what do you make of it?
Ultimately, they have infringed on our borders in the name of Victoria, and now they have used me as a means to pass you this letter. I believe this was intended as both a rap across the knuckles and a warning. Could it be that after all this, they can't actually contain themselves?
You've always been fond of taking a negative tack, Weiss.
Apologies, sir.
No, this is one of your strengths. You are correct. He deliberately sought you out, and so as to reveal his strength. But at the same time, it is unlikely he would not know that you are my attendant. A man of his position could approach me directly and to inform me of the contents of this letter. He used you to pass it to me instead. Do you feel like that is etiquette befitting a noble?
And it's a very humbling gesture. He is a strange man.
He represents the will of the Victorian Duke, but does not mean that every chess piece is a willing puppet.
Sir, what exactly is the letter regarding?
Enceodes does not reply, merely placing the piece of paper within the envelope atop the table and sliding it towards Weiss.
It's an invitation.
An invitation for me, alongside our Saintus, to take part in a dinner party he's arranged.
You and Lady Inya? Surely he doesn't know it couldn't be. If he really did send something amiss, he wouldn't go about it in such a friendly manner.
Find Matterhorn and tell him to take one of the finest bottles from our distillery's warehouses. Oh, on second thought, Weiss.
Yes, sir?
No need to go to the distillery. Come with me to the Silver Ash wine cellar. I will fetch the drink personally.
You mean the old manor cellar? There may be wine there, but
you need only do as I ask. He has already revealed his sincerity to us, and so it is my turn to do the same. What in Yarakander's name is going on?
I'm telling you, we Ursus can drink way more than this any day. Come visit sometime. It'll be my treat.
Ha ha ha. Very well, it's a deal. Come drink more. Ah, now that's some fine wine.
No, it's not wine, it's honey. Man, Yurik's own local Highland honey. Its flavor sure is something else. It's your lucky day because I brought a few bottles of my own on the train.
Ah, honey. How very sobering. This flavor is great. Stupendous. I Arctos do to create so. Come down it. Girl, why did you turn all wrinkly?
Buddy, you've got the wrong guy. I'm over here.
Let go, useless son of mine. Let go, I say. Hey, kid. How come you're so strong all of a sudden? Don't tell me you don't like my drinks. Well, that's no good. Wait here. I'll go get the bestest spirits. Just you wait.
Hey, buddy. I already told you, you've got the wrong guy.
You two. Gulo! Oh, I'm here, master. What is the meaning of this? Sir had a drink a bit too much, and once he saw Madame Rosalind, he invited her to drink with him. I wasn't able to stop them. Or cause he besotted oaf. When he looked at Rosalind, did he really not come to any realizations? Not exactly. Well, what then? Spit it out already. When he saw Rosalind, sir, said, she looked a bit familiar. But I think he might have been too drunk. We waited here a good while, and he didn't say any other word about it, not a peep. And then... yeah, and then Miss Rosalind, thought of something to lighten the mood, so she got out some honey drinks she bought with her, and gave some to Sir to try. Well then, here we are. How did Arknights get this far without learning how to handle honey drunkenness? It's his nature, I'm afraid. I don't think he could handle it even if he tried. To be honest, he might have inherited it from you, Master.
Glare.
What should we do now? What should we do? You're asking me what we should do? Wait until Arknights is silvered up. Once he has a clear head, even he can't deny the thing that the two of us have noticed. When I see Rosalind, I see Arknights. When he was her age. I remember, he didn't have a beard back then. He was just afraid of not looking reliable enough. It's a ploy. If he had really been reliable back then, it never would have come to this.
Batyushka, you're finally here. Who wasn't reliable? What back then? What are you guys talking about?
Nothing. It's just some reminiscing.
Another secret you're keeping. Alright then, keep your secrets. Hey, Batyushka, what is this? This is for you, rather. I saved you one last bottle of honey. Let's drink.
Very well.
Oh, doesn't sound like there'll be any trouble from them. Sure looks like a family reunion or something to me. No, I can't rule out the possibility of them exchanging information via code words. I still need to watch them carefully.
You, why are you loafing around over there?
Master, a new delivery of drink has just arrived. I need men to help me bring it in.
You may go, young Gulo. Yes, master. I'll go ahead first then. Yes, just go already. I'll make sure these two don't get up to any further trouble. I brought more drink.
I like him in the background. Oh, wait, this much? Did you empty the entire cellar or something, my man?
The people of Yerrig are never stingy when treating their guests. After gifting me your honey, it's only natural that I share something of mine. I wouldn't want a girl like you thinking I wasn't generous. Try this one for a sec, or for size. Since you have such fine taste, I'll grab the rarest drink in my collection. I wouldn't even bring it out for the banquet tomorrow.
Wrong person. Snow Realm Spring. The year's on the label too. Oh, this looks familiar. I think I've seen this brand in the doctor's office. Whatever. Time to drink up. This stuff is great. It's got a tingle, but it's sure that it goes down easy. Refreshing, yet not pungent. Yep, very fine.
Ha ha ha! You sound just like one of those fancy sommeliers. At the time, it was awful hard to get this drink. I had to grease a few palms and hide it behind my father's back to get my hands on its batch.
Why'd you have to keep it a secret? What, did your dad not like you drink or let you drink or something?
No, nothing of the sort. Us men of Yerrig have been drinking since we were in diapers, unlike those Victorians who fall over after a single drop. But this... Back then, it was considered taboo, especially for spare roches. But those times are long gone, and things have changed. What use is talking about it now? Come, have a sip.
Whoa.
This bottle might even be better than the last one, if it wasn't for the fact that we were such kindred spirits. I wouldn't give it to you, even if you beat me to death over it. I gotta say, it's nice and slow. Real slow.
Look, you've got it all wrong again, boss. I'm over here, that's a pillar. Let me give it a try. Hey, why is this sour?
Sour? How dare ya? This really is sour, but why? It aged well at first, but you have to take into account how it was stored. Our storage methods back then were not as sophisticated as today, and so after so long, well, there would always be a batch or two that went bad. Went bad. I'd planned to give it out at the wedding reception and ask everyone to drink their fill. I thought it might share a glass with her. Aye. How drunk are cuz? That's enough for now. I'm not drunk. I'm not.
Come on, give me that bottle. The girl takes the slightly sour aged spirit from Arkuz's hand. She turns up her head and without the slightest bit of hesitation raises the bottle and pours the liquid straight down her throat, taking it in its varied, astringent tones. Ah, and that's the problem solved. It was a little off, but overall still a pretty good drink. If you want my expert opinion, I'd say you could really grow to love the aftertaste.
Young lady, have you gone mad? Quick, somebody call a doctor.
Nah, I'm good.
You're good. It's long since we've gone bad and you still drink it. Haven't you heard the food poisoning?
I'm fine, really. I've eaten rotten bread and drank foul water out of a gutter before, and I think we probably committed cannibalism. Compared to that, what's this drink gonna do to me?
Out of a gutter? Why would you do such a thing, girl?
I'd rather not talk about those times right now. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I might not really get to what the whole deal is here, but I can feel it out. You said this drink was pretty important, right, boss? I'll take that as a yes. Something as rare as that getting spilled away just because it's gone a little off sure would be sad, don't you think?
Listen.
Oh, come on. Don't give me that face. It could work for you if you were more handsome, but you'd have to lose the beard first. Hey, why aren't we drinking? Whatever boozy trousers are left, serve them up. Today, the three of us, we're drinking until we drop.
And you're sure?
I'm sure.
Huh. This might be an issue. You know, lad, you usually come full of ideas, and you're right mute here.
Can't blame me for this one, boss. When a lord like you suddenly wants to throw a banquet, just freeing up the space for it took our men no small amount of effort.
It's simply for hosting two foreign dignitaries. Although it's still a bit off for that purpose.
Yeah, I understand. We've invited a chef from a local restaurant to come and cook, and thanks to us, the locals being so buddy-buddy, we've also managed to get some top-quality ingredients to go with. We're still stumped on drinks, though. These 3 bottles of Snow Realm Spring 1095 were the best we could get from hereabouts.
This one's mouthfeel is pleasant enough, and the aroma is suitably complex. However, the layering's a little bit weak, and the acridity is somewhat unbalanced. It would be fine to offer for someone the same rank as me, but for our guests at this banquet, it's far from appropriate.
It's only at times like these that you show that your nobility shows, my lord.
Well, I do have to work rather hard at it.
Enough already. We all know you're just a boozer who gave yourself an excuse that you're handling the lords and ladies.
Alright, enough lip out of you. Go back and help out with something. I'll think of everything else that's left.
Boss, we've been here a whole month and we've seen that the Yerrigs, they really love their scientists, and this Insidious guy too. I know you keep saying we're just here as tourists.
What is it you think I'm up to? If I really want to do something, well, I would tell you to get that ambush sorted out before this.
That's what you said, sure, but yeah, I don't expect the boys to come and save your hide if something comes up.
Oh, don't be such a worrywart. It's bad luck. If I had known sooner, I would have asked the missus to pack that rare red wine we've got back in the house. Ugh. Why ever you're sighing, my lord? Ah, Sir Sildes. Ha! Well, you've caught me in quite a pickle. I'm the one organizing this banquet, but I can't find a drink to fit for two illustrious guests such as you. While wearing that over, I recalled a fine vintage in my collection back home, and it gave me a twinge of homesickness. I'm afraid I don't know what exactly you are a viscount of. County Bear. If I were... And see, these voices is so weird for me to do. If I recall correctly, County Bear is not far from Torrin. Indeed, they tend to follow the same trails, have done so for quite a while now. If that's the case, then you and I were fated to meet, Lord Viscount. I lived in Torrin for a time. That's right, I feel we might have met at some banquet or other, back in the day. If only we had recalled this forgotten connection of ours sooner, Sir Sildes, we wouldn't have had to be at each other's throats. Indeed. If I had known that you were such an interesting man, I think I would have made friends. I think we would have made fast friends, my lord. I have met with many a noble here in Yerrig, but I believe that you might be the first to get homesick at the thought of some wine. Could it be remiss for me to assume that my lord is a family man? If my daughter heard those words, she would most likely die from laughter. In her eyes, I'm the most worthless father across all the lands. Relations always have different view of things to outsiders. You're right. Every family has its own issues. I'm afraid that I have no solution to your longing for County Bear, but I do have the means to make you feel at home here. Oh. My lord, please accept this as a token of my master's regard. This is Snow Realm Spring 1072. I had heard that other than the Snow Realm Spring batch that started distilling in the 90s, there were even rarer bottles from the 70s. You're saying that this is the real deal? Yerrig's first distillery was established under my father's auspice, but after his passing in an unfortunate accident, its output essentially stopped. I've revived it after the founding of Carlin Trade. Thanks to our outdated aging techniques, most of the stuff from the 70s is completely undrinkable these days, but a few bottles from that era still survive. They were labeled as the 1070s, and what few exist were kept in the Silver Ash clan cellars. What you see before you is that from that collection. Well, just from that hint of fragrance coming from the mouth of that bottle, I can already tell that it will drive Victoria's greatest sommeliers wild. This is a mighty fine drink. If I drink any of this, forget about feeling at home. I'd want to stay in Yerrig for about 3 years. Or another 3 years, even. Either way, that's still a very specific amount of time. If that is ever your desire, then we can, of course, welcome you. Then we will, of course, welcome you with open arms. Not scared of a Victorian soldier, sir and CODs. If every Victorian soldier is as reasonable a man as you, then what have I to fear? I'm afraid you might have some misunderstandings about me, good sir. Then it is natural for me to wish to clear up those misunderstandings. Come, let us sit and discuss them. Ah, well, the Saintess hasn't arrived yet. Should we really be sitting? The great Saintess is quite occupied with various affairs at the moment. There is no need you to trouble her over this. Ah.
It is as he says. Were I not here, there'd be nothing wrong with the two of you just sitting down to a chat. It would have to clear my approval in the end, anyhow. Is that not right, sir and CODs?
Great Saintess, I'm honored to have you have deigned to grace this banquet with your presence.
It has been quite some time since you first set foot in Yerrig, Lord Viscount. In that time, I have heard of the goodwill that you have shown to Yerrig, and I had plans myself to reach out to you for our own little chat. Today is as good an opportunity as any other.
It's been quite a while, Saintess.
Sir and CODs, you still have not answered my question.
The Saintess is correct. It's just that you are the spiritual leader of all Yerrig's people, after all. Every day you must hear the hopes and prayers of supplicants and keep their faith in Yerrigander in their hearts. Nowadays, all the nations of Terra have heard tell of her, and one by one they set their eyes on her. This too, is yet another matter that occupies your attention. There is no need for you to personally attend the mundane matters of the nation.
You tell a good joke, sir and CODs. The reason why Yerrigander attracts more and more attention from the outside world is in fact because we take note of our people's hopes and prayers, and that we work towards a better life for all of them. And that being the case, it means that there is no such thing as a mundane matter of the nation. It need only a matter of concern to the people to be a matter of concern to me. I'm sure that you would understand this simple reasoning of mine, right, sir and CODs?
I understand this point. As a good friend of mine once consoled me, whether in family matters or matters of state, if you try to grasp everything at play, you will oftentimes not go as you planned.
And as a good friend once counseled me, whether in family matters or matters of state, if you cannot attend to everything personally, you must see things through your own eyes and can do things with your own hands at least once. You do hold family matters in your heart, sir and CODs. Or do you hold family matters in your heart, sir and CODs, or matters of state?
What is it that you wish to see, great Saintess? What is it that you wish to do?
Great scientist. Just before you arrived, certain Cuties gifted me a bottle of liquor. Oh, Snow Realm Spring 1072. A drink so fine, its only flaw is that it will upstage the main dish. It is my gift to you. Are you afraid that I might steal your thunder as your host? Hardly. While I am the host, I can't really call myself the lord of this place, can I? I would say that the saintess herself would be considered the star of the evening. It seems that I have overstepped my bounds. If I may, saintess, I have a proposal. Go ahead. I think we should use this bottle of 1072 as a drink for tonight's meal. What do you think? What say you, certain Cuties? In 1072, when our father placed these bottles into our cellar, he believed that Yerrick's spring was just around the corner. Even after waiting for more than 20 years, our spring has not yet truly arrived. Now that this bottle were assigned for the opportunity before us, that would truly be a wonderful thing. Eloquent as ever, certain Cuties. Now that matter's settled, ya? Yes, saintess. Take this bottle to the kitchen, if you would. At once, saintess. Is that to your satisfaction, my lord? Well, since our two guests of honor have arrived, let's get this banquet started. Please have a seat.
A battle without an explosion or cheering makes me feel a little uneasy. Let's head back. A drink? Maybe next time.
Fight. They were very quick to be at each other's throats. But, I mean, they don't like each other at all. They really don't. Ah, an intermission. Elite Arts Attacker of the Delegation, casting with perfect coordination, but still asked. Take it easy. Expert Grenadiers of the Delegation, able to throw shells as heavy as 100 kilos. The rest of the delegation knows better than to challenge them to a snowball fight. Mountain Railway. Facing the problem directly means dealing with surprises that pop up, like the steep and winding uphill slope. I'm back. Lisburn, what are you standing around for? Nothing.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Old Turiel's daughter was cooking in the back kitchen. So you wanted some excuse to slip on over. Look at you, acting like you're doing us a great service.
She used to work as a chef in the nearby restaurant, so it makes plenty of sense to bring her on board.
Whatever, more importantly, why is the food not ready yet? Hey boss, how come the food hasn't been served yet? Yeah, sorry about that. The main reason is that we've a bit overworked right now. Even though we've upped the kitchen staff, it's still not enough to handle the workload. I mean, how many people are actually at this banquet? Who are eating? Like, it's the three of them. It's three main people. I guess Matterhorn was here. Maybe he's eating Yar, I guess. It's not a lot of food.
In that case, I don't mind lending a hand.
There's no need.
Who are you?
I'm the chief maid to the Saintis, Yar. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Ah, we're just a bunch of lowless soldiers, no need for formalities. Leah? Yes, madam? Split the accompanying servants into teams and have them take turns helping in the kitchen.
Yep.
Helping in the kitchen. Make sure the banquet proceeds smoothly. Understood.
But we couldn't possibly have you.
There's no need to worry, sir. Though this banquet is hosted by the Lord Viscount, this land is still Yurg, and we are all esteemed guests in the eyes of the Saintist. As the Lord Viscount was gracious enough to extend an invitation to the Saintist, it is only natural that we servants lend our assistance as well. Additionally, pardon me if this may sound offensive, but it would be out of place for those whose hands wield weapons to carry plates. Calm down, Lisburn, the maid's right. We'd probably end up breaking a whole bunch of crockery if we tried to help.
I know. But if there's any physical labor that needs doing, you just give me a holler, alright?
Oh, come to think of it, the kitchen could use some extra hands to help carry some groceries. I'm not sure if...
I'm on my way.
Thanks, madam. My pleasure. Now that things have settled here, I won't further disturb your enjoyment of the banquet. I'm back. Leah, I have one more favor to ask you. Can you see if the kitchen has these items? If they do, I'd like to make one additional dish. I like a fruit and cheese wrap. Pulling out the old home cooking, but the Saintess normally doesn't touch that stuff. Now, just listen to me. Alright, so there are Carlin trade people showing up. Okay. Fair enough. Carlin Trade's employees seem to be arriving one after another. That's right, the Viscount invited not only the Saintess and Master and Studis, but also the elders of the Vinebear Court as well as the employees of Carlin Trade, as extravagant as one would expect of a Victorian Viscount. The man's not at all show either. He invited Turiel's head chef of the Burden Peak Hotel. His foul temper isn't something that can be brought with money. It goes to show how well they've gotten on with our people during the month that they've been in Yarrig.
Chug, chug.
Chug, chug. Crap. Not bad, not bad. You mountain folks sure know how to hold your booze. But you still can't outdrink me. Who's up next?
Those men can get sloshed even in a place like this. Not to mention, quite a few have already ended up under the table. Yar, what should we do? Well, getting on well is certainly a wonderful thing, but getting on too well can be problematic. This sort of thing, however, ends up being a headache for certain other people.
It's her! Oh my gosh. Valet? I wasn't sure she was even still alive. Amazing. When is she gonna be playable? That's who I want playable next. Now that Leto's here. I can't remember what she did. She helped, she was, I believe she was with the Pale Roches, but she was secretly a double agent working for Silverash and betrayed, Arknights. And tried to poison him or something, and I thought she got poisoned. I can't remember exactly. Something happened. But I love her design. I love her aesthetic. I'm glad she's still alive. That's cool. I had to look up how to pronounce that word again because I didn't remember. What kind of voice should she have?
Notice the Tejagate are in position. I have them patrolling the front and rear entrances to prevent anyone from sneaking inside the venue.
No need to be nervous. Valet, send one team to go help in the kitchen.
Understood.
Here for a drink, if you dare, that is. This is some crazy strong stuff. We seriously doing this? As I said, up to you. Haha, you got me. You got guts. I'll give you that. Cheers.
Pour me another glass.
On it. You're not bad.
Do we have a hangover remedy?
Leah.
Right here.
Good. I wouldn't take Gnosis for a guy who does drinking contests. Oh, director.
Enjoy your nap.
Oh, yes. That one soldier with a stomach of iron, you managed to drink him under the table.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Lay off the alcohol for the rest of the day. Go rest.
Thank you very much.
Killing me surprised. I didn't expect Harlan's trade CTO to be such a good drinker.
You and me both.
I can hardly tell from your face, but you just downed 2 bottles of strong liquor.
Just some useless tricks I picked up when I was younger.
Did you frequently attend such occasions in your youth?
Don't worry about it. The banquet will start soon. I'll have Carlin Trade's employees help move things along.
You're not going to join the conversation, Master Gnosis?
Not at the moment. It's their time now. I wonder if the other girl will show up. Forget her name. Monet? Something with an M. You two,
Why are you so taciturn today, Sir Enceodes? Is there something on your mind, or has coming to the banquet soured your mood? Your usual quips and retorts are nowhere to be heard today.
I appreciate the Saintess's concern, but it's simply that sitting here at the same table as the Saintess is a terrifying affair. I can only hold my tongue in her presence.
I see. I did not think Sir Enceodes a pious type, but I stand corrected.
I dare not speak out of line.
Oh, there are things in this world that even Sir Enceodes dares not do.
Oh, there's the fondue. Look how nice the weather is today. A perfect day to be holding a banquet, wouldn't you say? Oh, why don't you two go? Given the Saintess's high praise, there are naturally many things I am afraid of. I won't prattle on with the details, but take the ceremony for Yerrigander's statue the day after tomorrow. For such an important occasion, all of Carlin's trade must come together as one without a single misstep.
That being the case, I would recommend you be thorough and circumspect as well, Sir Enceodes. The completion of Yerrigander's statue is of utmost importance to Yerrig. Not to mention, we are in the presence of our Victorian guests, who are eager to congratulate us. There is no such thing as too much caution.
It is as you say. The Saintess is well versed in all things divine, and the multitude of preparations made for the ceremony are impeccable and well thought out. In all respects, a true blessing upon Yerrig. As for all other affairs, please rest assured that Carlin Trade will take care of the Vine Bear Court's concerns. Now then, it's certainly reassuring to see the two of you so young and promising. As a reminder, we're not here to celebrate, but also to discuss a collaboration.
Seeing as how you're eloquent as ever, you seem to have no shortage of confidence. You've been quite busy making a name for yourself, Sir Enceodes. Though I rarely go down the mountain, news of Carlin Trade's exploits are regularly reaching my ears. But please do not forget this, Enceodes. For thousands of years, Yerrick has relied on the hard work and pragmatism from generation to generation to develop our homeland into what it is today. Not utilitarianism and reckless adventurism.
The Silver Ashes will never forget the Aragander's admonition of her people. However, the Saints must also understand that along with the people of Yerig's hard work and pragmatism is an indomitable adventuring spirit, a desire to ascend the highest summits. Perhaps a little bit of this spirit is also what we need when it comes to dealing with external developments.
I only hope that your enthusiasm does not lead you headfirst into danger.
Well, the young truly are so full of energy. But the Saintess is correct. Sometimes stability is in fact necessary. I invited the two of you here because I wanted to.
I am truly touched by the Saintess's concern. Please rest assured that I will handle this matter and not betray your expectations. All things in Yerig must inevitably answer to Yerigander's will. Without sufficient faith, is it not true that I would struggle to take even a single step?
You're just as awful as you ever were.
Ditto.
You two, if you have a disagreement, talk it through with like adults. Don't go and ruin the peace. Let's move on and discuss our cooperation.
Serenciotes, your brain is as hard and stubborn as the purest oranginium ice crystal.
The Saintess remains unmoving and speaks bluntly for the first time in a long time.
I can't hold a candle to you in that regard. But it seems that even after all these years, our great Serenciotes still has not learned to retain his capital.
To what does the great Saintess refer?
Have your old habits not flared up again, taking on every bit of risk with no reward or for the consequences?
The greater the risk, the greater the reward.
I hope you won't regret your choice later down the road. Nobody's going to sneak money under your pillow today.
Indeed. That won't be happening again. No longer will I be woken by the jingling of coins, or have to buy candies and snacks on margin and pay back thrice the amount.
I never asked you to pay me back.
Please.
Please, you two.
Both of them at the same time. Just a moment, please, your lordship.
It was at this point Harold realized he made a big mistake inviting both of them. Fine, I suppose I'll drink to myself for now. Holy Saintess, Serenciotes, I have no intention of involving myself in your private affairs. But if the Saintess has her own thoughts about Yerik's present situation, well then, reciprocating the Duke's offer may be the perfect option for you.
What do you mean?
Holy Saintess, might I tell you what I found most impressive about Yerig?
Please do.
I recall the time I paid a medical call to a herdsman. Leons was his name. A young beast in his herd had gotten lost while grazing.
I offered to help him search for it, but he declined and told me not to worry. He had me wait until sundown and left to have supper. And so I waited. After finishing the treatment, I set up a cooking pot over the grass with him. We lit the pot, and he found a good piece of cheese. You should have heard the sizzling sound it made when he threw it in. I was sitting to the side on a short bench, still thinking about the young beast, when I heard a high-pitched cry in the distance. This might be something you see all the time in Yarig, but for me, well, when I saw the young beast returning to the pasture at sunset, the way it found its way back to its mother's side, the two nuzzling against each other, what I felt in that moment was something I don't know how to describe. Old Leons told me that the Burdenbeast recognize the scent of their kin, especially foals, which are particularly sensitive to their mother's scent. Even if they get lost, they'll always find a way back by following their mother's scent. That blood bond reminded me of the way the people of Yarig view their land. It reminds me of the way certain Inciudes gave up Victoria and all her glory to return to Yarig.
I see your lordship speaks very highly of Sir Inciudes. It is true that he has made many accomplishments thus far, but if you are comparing him to a young Burdenbeast returning to his homeland, thanks to the ties with his mother, by the name of Yarig, I find that joke quite droll.
It is indeed thanks to Sir Inciudes longing for his homeland that House Castor decided to fund Colin trade. Alright, Castor confirmed. Moreover, the Duke believed that Sir Inciudes greatly treasured the Yarig blood flowing in his veins. He likewise would not come to despise the other half of his blood. The Castor bloodline. Holocentis, I have previously stated, I am not here to stoke conflict, but at the inception of Colin trade, it was Castor who extended a helping hand to Sir Inciudes. And now that Sir Inciudes has proven his worth, and the Duke believes that it is time to collect a bit of interest.
Do Silver Ashes have Castor blood in them? For a previously isolationist nation, they sure have a lot of people moving in and out.
It appears that a few pieces of candy will no longer be sufficient, Sir Inciudes.
It's not so complicated, really. What the Duke wants is simply a show of sincerity. Her Grace wishes to see this goodwill from Sir Inciudes, from Colin Trade, and ultimately from Yarig herself. As a show of sincerity towards the Duke of Castor, and towards Victoria, as long as this sincerity exists, then our future cooperation will only become more intimate.
And if we fail to express such sincerity,
Harold puts down his tableware, then walks over to the window and opens it. The cold wind, laced with snow and ice, instantly pours into the room. Even the burning stove is helpless to resist the chill. He quickly closes the window once more.
My apologies.
the Saintess's question was so incisive, I found myself wanting a breath of fresh air. After staying in this warm room for too long, I had forgotten how cold it was outside, you see.
That being the case, your lordship could have simply entertained Sir Ensudes at this banquet. Why is my presence necessary?
Well, you see, I've been eating and drinking remarkably well here, and during my morning constitutional, my blood pressure has gone down even as my blood sugar was up a tad. I wouldn't mind staying here for another year or so. But as you see, I find the Duke's incessant nagging quite bothersome. Nowadays, calling trade has become a pillar of Yarig, and the kinship between the great Saintess and Sir Ensudes runs deep. I simply want to provide an opportunity for the two of you to sit down and talk things over. I'd like you to help me convince Sir Ensudes.
I appreciate your lordship's candor. However, everything that has a beginning must also have an end. It is true that Yarig owes much of its current standing to Crown trade, but if I, as a Saintess, were to say that I know nothing of this, it would simply be avoiding responsibility. If you accept that I am the leader of this nation, then it must follow that I am also responsible for its current condition. I cannot come up here and confidently proclaim that the ways of the past are wrong. Sir Ensudes always boasts about how he was the one who chose Yarig's current path. However, to this day, everything in Yarig is the result of decisions that we have collectively made as a people, of which I am but one member. Sir Ensudes himself has no right to rebuke Yarig, as she is today, and the same is true for me.
I see now. It seems I really ought to try more of Yarig's food while I still have an appetite. Please come with me, both of you. Once again, I must thank you for your hospitality, my lord. I hope my choice of dishes will suit both your taste. We have traditional Yarig dishes that I specially requested Chef Turiel's to prepare. Wow, this cheese wrap looks positively splendid.
Cheese wraps, and there are even fruit chunks inside.
Truly a traditional household dish. Dig it, my friends, don't be shy.
After you, Sir Ensudes.
Very well, if you insist. That smell again.
You still remember it?
Of course. Gnosis should be here. Where is he?
Sir, there were these Victorian soldiers earlier.
Soldiers. It all makes sense now. It would be unbefitting of the Saintess to personally appear before Victorian soldiers, no?
Do as you will. Don't worry about me.
Now then, I shall not take up any more of your time, Holy Saintess.
It really is that same smell.
Yeah. At least a bit of silver lining is that the chubby ashes can't accuse me of doing nothing. I've done what needed doing, and the ceremony is about to begin. I suppose it's time to head back. Right. Can't forget about picking up a souvenir for the wife and daughter. And also... Alas, it would be remiss for me to leave any regrets behind on this trip. Ah, there you are, Madame Degenbrecker. I see you found yourself a lovely spot. Clean and... Hey now, don't go. If you want an audience, go talk to Enceodes or Gnosis. I'll have nothing to do with your little games. Come now, that's no way to be talking. With all this delicious food and drink in front of you, would it really kill you to exchange a few pleasantries? For example, shall we toast? 9 Dunka. Oh, are you a woman who can't handle her drink? I'm much better at handling men who try to ply me with drink. Shall I prove it to you? No need. I'll take your word for it. Oh, right. Lily's in fine shape, thanks to your timely handling of the matter. I've already arranged for follow-up care, and her little ones are in good health as well. Leon said to leave one for you to name. I'm glad things worked out. And I'll pass on the last part. Don't have much of a naming sense. In that case, why not let me do it for you? Never fear. Naming is a bit of a science in Victoria, and I happen to have a bit of expertise in the field. The little one is a girl, so my suggestion would be to name her Olivia Turnbottom Michelle Kragavan. I put together my last name, my wife's maiden name, my grandmother's first name, making her the same as my daughter's. I've changed my mind. Her name's Dollar. Well. But I wasn't finished yet, Madam Deckenbrecker. Her name is Dollar. But Olivia... Dollar. Dollar. Alright. Dollar, it's also a fine name for a girl, healthy and strong, right? Even though I think Olivia Turnbottom Michelle Kragavan has a bit more charm to it. Nevertheless, I think Leons will be quite fond of the name, fitting as it is for a Gehrig girl, Madame Degenbrecker. I also have another favor to ask of you, presumptuous as it may be. Please take a look at this. I'm afraid I'll be leaving empty-handed on this business trip. I would at least like to leave a little memento for myself as a personal note. As I said back at the station, I'm a huge fan of yours, see? Would you be willing to give me your autograph? You don't seem like the type to obsess over night sports. You think too highly of me, vulgar man that I am. Far be it from me to avoid vulgar pleasures. Though the arena is certainly different from the battlefield, the victors all have something that elevates them above the crowd. It certainly is a fine pastime, and I hope you take no offense in me saying that, as none is attended. That much is true. You say that, but you still refuse to give me the poor man your autograph, even as he's holding his card out. I've treasured this trading card for a long time, you know. It was a limited edition release. For the first time, you won the major. You never released another card. It's a darn shame I can't seem to win your favor no matter what. That aside, when it comes to naming, there's something I've been curious about, and would appreciate if you could shed some light on the matter. Of course, you don't have to answer if you find it offensive. Degenbrecker, is that your real name? You're certainly brave to ask, Kragavan. I'm a man of few talents, but courage is something I do carry. What if it is? Just consider it scratching the itchy curiosity of your fans, madam. After all, every angle of your being has been under the spotlight since the first time you won the major.
The origins of the Black Knight and where her path ultimately led her. Countless eyes have been following you. Which brings me to my next question, Madam Degenbecker. Is your contract with the Colin trade about to expire? I do wonder if you'd spare me the honor of inviting you to be a guest of Victoria. No doubt the Duke would be more than glad to welcome your arrival, and perhaps we'd even be able to discuss new horizons of cooperation. Is that all you wanted to ask? If that's all you're here for, I've heard you out now. If you'd leave me in peace. I've spent a decade in Yerig. I'm one of her people, and I plan to live out my days here. Good enough for you? Ah, yes. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I had my own speculation about the answer, but if I must admit, it was quite moving to hear it in your own words. Why didn't you even try to dress up with more local flair? True, I suppose you're dressed with a bit of color. Where'd you get the fur collar? Ah, this is from a souvenir shop. I'm rather partial to. It's quite warm. Alright, it's getting late and the banquet should be drawing to an end soon, so I won't pester you any longer. Though I wasn't fortunate enough to win your signature, I do hope to say one thing. I enjoyed your chat very much, madam. Please watch your steps, Sir Enceades. Oh hey, it's Chester. Enceades, I've brought your car. Oh, thank you, Uncle. Are you returning to the manor? Back to the office. Enceades, what he said. There are still some chores I need to take care of. Long time no see, Uncle Chester. Saintus. Just call me by my name on these occasions. Inya, I'm glad to see you're safe and sound. The feeling is mutual. I'm relieved that you're in good health. Now then, I shall take my leave, Holy Saintus, Sir Enceades. Very well, my lord. Yes, Holy Saintus. All else aside, I hope you have a wonderful time in Yerig. Thank you for your kind words. Yar. Yes, Saintus. Please have the maids clean the mess. Oh, there's no need for that. The good soldiers not only helped clean up everything, but even took away the leftover food. They said they were going to bring it to the infected soldiers who weren't able to attend the banquet. This Viscount actually seems quite respectable. It feels as if he's playing the villain. Though, I trust that something Sir Enceades here can relate to. Dang. You flatter me, Saintus. It's getting dark. Please be careful on your way back. You too. Saintus. Did you need something else? In the name of Yerrigander, Yerig has arrived where she is today despite the gulf between us. What would Yerrigander think were she to look down upon her land today? Would she condemn us? Are you getting cold feet? Of course not. The miracle 3 years ago will forever be engraved in the hearts of all Yerig. Even I must admit that Yerrigander indeed is the bedrock of this land. We are all but children playing atop her body. If so, my question isn't for me to answer. Perhaps it's not for her to answer either. Alright, we're back. I can go the rest of the way myself. Oh, really? It was just a minor miscalculation. Hold on, I need a moment. Certainly. No, not the main door. Head around the side. What's the problem? Worried someone might see you. Someone might be working overtime. Worried who'd be working overtime at this hour? Me. And you too, probably. Are you complaining that I haven't given you enough overtime pay? Alright, Gnosis. Sit down already. Nobody will see the drunken and indecent behavior of the CTO. If you ask me, you're holding your own image too high a standard. You're a lot more talkative after a few drinks and cuties. If anything, you owe Dragonbecker more overtime pay. He actually owes me a few lives, too lazy to keep count. The two leaders of Carlin Trade squatting in the lobby of the company headquarters in the middle of the night to discuss unpaid wages. Gnosis is fighting on your behalf. Did the booze melt his brain?
Oh my gosh. Look at her little tail.
It's not like I got sloshed for your sake. Degenbrecker looks over at Ensudes, who only gives a shrug. What an embarrassment. Degenbrecker holds the canteen of water she brought over to Ensudes, and the latter naturally reaches out to accept it. The last decade has seen countless such moments. You still remember Weldon's. Who? The first time you had to carry me and Gnosis back. Oh, that banquet. Yes. Where Gnosis got pissed drunk, and you didn't, yet you were worse for wear because of it. Look at him now. His liver is clearly a lot tougher these days. At least he's not passing out all over the place. You sure this one's still conscious? Before the two of you start bad-mouthing me to my face, can you give me some hangover remedy? The man slumped over the steps does not lift his head, merely scratching his hand or stretching his hand out towards his ill-spirited friend. Degenbrecker raises her eyebrows, then takes a pack of pills out of her pocket and places them in Gnosis's hand. She watches him open up the blister pack with practiced motions and swallow the contents, along with a big gulp of water. After a while, she lets out a sigh of relief. That's better. But this doesn't seem to be the same medicine I took before. It's not a hangover cure. It's a poison I made, and Ensudes put me up to it. Yes, quite right. Is that so? Then why am I not dead yet? Doesn't seem like your poison's very effective. How dull. Are you two not tired of this routine yet? I thought it was pretty funny. It was more fun back when you actually believed it and tried to make yourself vomit. That was years ago. But that was a different pill, wasn't it? It didn't look the same as the previous one. Riley sent it. He often goes drinking with the Victorians, and says this one works better. In Ensudes, it seems that Dragonbrecker has become the most popular of us three among the people of Yerig. Notice the promotional pictures of the Black Knight hanging off the Burdenbeast billboards by the station. Hand-drawn, too. Is that a problem? Of course not. Or of course not. I've become increasingly busy in recent years and have neglected many things. Once the situation calms a bit, Gnosis and I really need to start going out more often. That's for sure. If you don't show your face in public every once in a while, people will start to worry about your private life. One popular line of speculation is that you've thrown yourself into work as you've been heartbroken over certain things. There are quite a few variations too. Want me to give you the rundown? I pray you don't choke to death laughing and vomiting at the same time, Gnosis. If you could laugh like that all the time, our employees wouldn't be so afraid of you. Don't worry. Before I croak, I'll make sure to puke all over your shoes. So, how did the discussion go today? Reach any arrangements? When it comes to matters concerning Yerig, there aren't actually that many differences between me and the Saintess. What about between you and the girl named Inya? The only problems worth talking about are those that can be resolved. If I had to do things over again, I'd make the same decision every time. She'd still never feel good about it. We all know that deep down. Say what you will, but you'll never tell her that to her face. You're not much different, Gnosis. You're two peas in a pod. You never saying what's need to be said to the people who need to hear it. Also, you should stop playing dead right about now. The lights of the office still shine bright in the night. The heating in the main hall is shutting off. The silence spreads freely through the room, along with the cold. A moment later, the silence is broken by the sound of Gnosis retching. Degenbrecher, I need another pill. My head hurts. A couple for me too. I might be a bit tipsy. Both men stretch out their hands towards Degenbrecher at the same time. The unflappable attitude that someone there knows the truth makes Degenbrecher tingle with irritation for some reason. There are many questions that cannot be answered. But at least here, right in this moment, there's no need to show off. No need for pretense. Degenbrecher heeds her own will and slaps each of the two hands in turn. Gah. Oh. Stand up, go home already, you're drunk. Don't squat here. There's a lot of work to be done tomorrow. Now go. That was cute to see their little friendship group. And here I thought they'd finally give me the hard labor on the borders, and yet I wonder if the Empire is deigning to smile at me. Oh, where are my manners? You, then, should be my commanding officer from here on. I render you my services as a plain medical officer. He's got a good voice.
Have you been doing well lately, Doctor?
He's a wandering medic.
Here, I thought they'd finally given me hard labor on the borders, and yet I wonder if the Empire's deigning to smile on me. Oh, where are my manners? You, then, should be my commanding officer from here on.
Besides not giving him an accent, which I did purposely, I nailed it again.
What do you do exactly? Plus 40 attack speed, prioritizing healing target has taken the most elemental damage. When healing targets with more than 50% damage, elemental damage is 120% healed. Targets with attack range that have taken more than 50% elemental damage take 12% less elemental damage. As opposed to Honeyberry, who actually has 2 unique skills, as opposed to he only has 1 unique skill. Her talent is increased max HP for operators. Otherwise, her skill heals 2 targets with the highest elemental damage and recovers 70% of their damage based on her attack every 3 seconds. And skill 2 heals 3 operators at the highest. Heals faster, which is pretty nice. They'll take 12% less elemental damage. If they're over 50, they'll heal 120%. I mean, that's pretty good. What about Mulberry comparatively? What does Mulberry do? Next healing does recover 120% with the highest elemental damage. So that will deal it even if they're not above 50, but it's pretty much the same skill. Although it holds charges as well. Mulberry, and at least 1 more medic operator on the battlefield. All medic operators gain 6% attack, so that only works if there's multiple medics. Attack interval reduced, prioritizes targets with highest thing. All allies within attack range receive 15% elemental damage. So she also reduces their damage taken, but only when the skill is active for 30 seconds, while he does it constantly. Attack interval reduces versus his plus 40% attack speed. I wonder which one's mathematically better. Of course, his skill probably is also cheaper. Yeah, half as expensive. He might be better than Mulberry. And maybe better than Honeyberry as well. I'll have to look into that. I need a good elemental medic. Maybe he's the one. We somehow only did 2 levels today. But that's fine. We'll finish them. We'll do more tomorrow. It's all good. And then... yeah. It's a shorter event, so actually we probably should finish it tomorrow, right? I guess it depends how long the story is. The story picked up. It got a little longer. Yesterday they were shorter. Today they're longer. We'll see how it goes. But for now, thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.